Geno Auriemma. Caitlin Clark again. The world turns. It's Caitlin Clark's world. We just live on planet Caitlin.
Did you hear about Geno Auriemma's big miss? The iconic UConn coach passed on recruiting Caitlin Clark, and now his program's attendance is dwindling while Clark draws record crowds and transforms women's basketball. UConn was once the pinnacle of the sport, with packed arenas cheering for stars like Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and Maya Moore. But now, the energy has faded, and those arenas aren't as full as they used to be.
Bueckers goes to the Bahamas, 500 people. And repeat, 500. 500 people.
The numbers are shocking. At a recent game in the Bahamas, only 567 fans showed up to watch UConn. Even at home, attendance has dropped to just 4,000 to 6,000 per game, half of what it once was.
In what looks to be, you can see there's a stage. Oh my God, they're not even playing on a basketball, like in a basketball gym. They're literally playing in like what looks to be an auditorium.
The athletic department knows they're in trouble and is scrambling to figure out why fans aren't showing up. They blame UConn's recent struggles, while teams like South Carolina and LSU have risen to prominence.
And we hear so much about, oh, Paige is bigger than Caitlin. Paige is going to be bigger than Caitlin. It's like, man, even last year, Caitlin Clark would have filled that up. Everyone who is even close to the Bahamas would have gone to that game. If you heard that you could see Caitlin Clark in a tiny, basically, with only 500 people, you're like, oh my God, I was at the Bahamas game.
While UConn struggles to draw a few thousand fans, Iowa fills arenas with 15,000. Even without Caitlin Clark, the contrast is clear. UConn's arena feels empty, while Iowa's is full of energy. It's a testament to Clark's lasting impact.
Week, doing all that talking online, but when it comes to the proof, it is in the pudding. When it comes to the numbers, when it comes to the black and the white, are you in the black or are you in the red? Are you showing up or are you bluffing?
What's behind the drop in attendance? While some blame UConn's poor performance on the court, there's more to the story. Let's break it down and uncover the real reasons behind the decline.
UConn have not won a game that they had any chance of losing this year.
Paige Bueckers is struggling. Once a dominant force, her performance has dropped, and fans are starting to notice.
She was as good. It's been 4 years, and she was as good the day she touched down in UConn. And I get it. There's been injuries, there's been other stuff, but like, it doesn't look like she's improved even like a lot of skill wise. It doesn't look like she's improved like strength wise since her freshman year. Her game is still her game, realistically, and she's just been less aggressive.
What's shocking is how hesitant Bueckers has become, passing up shots and opportunities. That take-charge attitude is gone, and UConn is feeling the impact.
All Paige Bueckers does is back cut. That's her whole role in the offense, is to just cut backdoor. And it's just kind of frustrating to watch a lot of the time, just as a fan basketball-wise. But sure, look, it is what it is.
It's not just Bueckers. The whole team is off. The energy is gone, execution is sloppy, and fans are left disappointed instead of seeing UConn magic.
Like, Ice Brady has just not been good this year. Like, Ice Brady, somebody who just can't seem to lose her starting spot. I don't know why. She's been very poor this year.
It's bad when former players and analysts start criticizing the program, pointing to coaching strategies and player development. Is Geno losing his touch? Has the game passed him by?
And I think you have to blame Geno Auriemma to an extent. Like, look, his rotations have been horrific. His development of players has not been good. And Geno, post Stewie, has not had a great track record developing players.
To make matters worse, Geno has been benching key players like KK Arnold. Her mom even took to Twitter to express frustration, calling out Geno for constantly sidelining her daughter.
See it. KK Arnold's mom is on literally retweeting anti-Geno Auriemma posts. Like, she is retweeting basically anti-Geno posts, which is...
Geno Auriemma's decision to pass on Caitlin Clark could be one of college basketball's biggest what-ifs. The player he overlooked is now dominating the sport.
And that's the difference, is the reality of the situation. It really hits when you see they're like, oh, the fans need to spend more money. The reality is fans need to spend money the way they want to spend money. If a fan wants to see a player, they can see a player. Like, it's not the fault of a fan of Juju Watkins who doesn't want to pay to see her play. It's not the fault of a fan of Paige Bueckers who doesn't want to pay to see her play. Just because fans of Caitlin Clark will pay to see her play. Like, that's the reality situation. Is it's nothing to, there's never blame the consumer or the viewer for what they like. And that's the problem, again, with all this WNBA media.
Caitlin Clark, a high school phenom with deep range and great vision, had offers from top programs, but UConn passed. Geno thought her style wouldn't fit the system, and with Paige Bueckers already on the roster, he made a big miscalculation.
Wants to know, if Caitlin Clark played for Geno, would he let her shoot logo threes?
Should I answer that?
Go ahead.
Hell no.
Okay.
Like, he didn't even let us dribble. Like,
not the high pass to
we were playing triangle, pass, screen away, pinch post.
I bet we came off 5-5.
Clark chose Iowa and quickly transformed the program. By her junior year, she was leading Iowa to the Final Four, breaking records, and making every game must-see TV.
I know that Geno and UConn passed on Caitlin Clark, and I think that was like the biggest blessing in disguise for her, because I think, say Caitlin Clark went to UConn or went to one of these bigger powerhouse schools, South Carolina, one of those, I'm not sure. I would almost bet money that we wouldn't have this thing happen.
Here's where it gets exciting. Clark's dominance peaked in the 2024 NCAA Final Four, where she faced UConn. Clark led Iowa to victory, showing Geno what he had missed.
Geno Auriemma, Caitlin Clark again. The world turns. It's Caitlin Clark's world. We just live on planet Caitlin.
This decision changed UConn's story and proved Clark's toughness. Fans wonder what if she had chosen UConn. As Clark leads other programs, it shows how one choice can change everything. When picked first by the Indiana Fever, Geno questioned if she could handle the WNBA's physicality.
Great. I think she talks a lot of and she gets a lot of back. So she deserves everything she gets because she gives it as good as she gets. She's just not built for the physicality of this league. Yeah, and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality.
Auriemma also criticized the Fever's fan base, calling them unfamiliar with the WNBA. His comments sparked outrage, intensifying the debate over Clark's move to pro basketball.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at a WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it. You look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're gonna come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
I think one of the things that makes Caitlin Clark, who she is the way she is with people. She connects with people, and people connect with her.
You never know how quickly they're going to adapt to the WNBA game coming from college. And I think that Caitlin has done surprisingly well, how quickly she's adapted to this game.
The college career that Caitlin had ignited a tremendous amount of attention, an incredible phenomenon that very rarely happens, and it certainly changed the landscape, no question.
There's a lot of investors in this league. One investor, been trying to keep quiet about, his investment in the league ever since his comments that he made about a young rookie. Pretty much, had him in the headlines for about a month and a half. That is Geno Auriemma, dog. I'm here to tell you, he's part owner of this league.